Hi, I'm back again. This is part three. Okay, I just talked about complete sentence, right? What is a complete sentence? And I made a little chart here. A complete sentence must have what? Have a subject, verb, and complete thought. Okay, pensamiento completo. Okay. All right. So you have for a sentence you have to have a subject, verb, and a complete thought. Okay, we just talked about that. You have to have all three things. Okay, now in this video, I want to talk about a couple more things. Okay, phrases and clauses. Phrases and clauses. Okay, now if we break down the English language into the smallest part, okay, smallest parts. What are they? What's the smallest part of English? If you just broke down, if you have a book, okay, written in English, and if you broke it down to the smallest part, what would that be? Okay, so that would be the what? The letters, right? Letters, okay, or the alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's the smallest part, okay. And what's the next part? You put letters. We put letters and make what? Okay. You have A, B, C, D, and we put them together to make exactly. You make words. You make words. Okay? And then you put words together and make what? You make sentences. Okay? And then you put sentences together. Okay? When you have two or more sentences, what do you have? You have paragraphs. Okay? Paragraphs. And when you have several paragraphs together, if you put paragraphs together, what do you have? You have a composition, right? Or compositions. Okay? And then, what's bigger than a composition? Whatever. It could be short stories, essays, novels, books, whatever. Okay? So on and so on. And it gets, Anyway, today we already talked about sentences, and we talked about the alphabet, the letters, in the first video, and we talked about sentences today. And you know what words are. Okay, we're not going to do too much vocabulary in this online class. We only have 20-minute videos, so we'll explain words as we go along if we run into some difficult words. But today we want to talk about phrases and clauses. Where do you think phrases and clauses fit in this list? This is the smallest to the what? To the largest, right? It gets bigger as you go down. Okay? Where do you think phrases and clauses go? Okay? Are they bigger than letters but small than words, or what? No, they're bigger than words, but they are smaller than sentences. They go right here. They go right there. Okay? Which is bigger, phrase or clause? Okay. So I skip a couple of steps here. You put words together to make phrases, and then you put phrases together and make clauses. Okay, you could. And then one step up is the sentence. Okay, so phrases and clauses, they fit in right between words and sentences, basically. Okay, so that's where they fit. All right. Okay. Did you get that? All right. Let me erase this because I don't have board space. All right. All right. So I want to talk about phrases first. Phrases. So what are phrases? Phrases. Okay. Remember, I said paragraphs are two or more sentences, right? Well, phrases are two or more words. Okay? Two or more words. For example, an example might be, there might be a sign, okay? Sign says, no smoking, okay? you can't smoke cigarette, right? You'll see signs like that everywhere nowadays. Is that a complete sentence? Is that a sentence? No, that's not a sentence. Okay, is that a clause? No, that's not a clause. Is that a word? Well, it's more than one word. It's a phrase. This is a phrase. When you have two or more words, that's a phrase. Okay, that's the phrase. Okay, no smoking, or if you see a sign that says, what's another sign? You say the sign says, no swimming, okay, or no fishing, for example. Okay, that's a phrase. Okay, and we talked about phrase one other time, right? Remember, what are the phrases that we talked about? We talked about prepositional phrases, right? If I say we learn English in the classroom, in the classroom. These are what? 3 words, right? In the classroom. That's a phrase. In the classroom. Okay? In the classroom. Okay? So, phrases are basically 2 or 3 words, and it does not have to have a subject. It does not have to have a verb, and it doesn't have to have complete thought. Okay? Just words, just random words. In the classroom, at the house, in the park. Okay, those are all phrases. Okay, remember the sentence I gave you with indirect object? She cooks me dinner becomes she cooks dinner for me. For me is a phrase, prepositional phrase. So phrases are simply 2 or more words that does not have a subject, verb, or complete thought requirements. Okay, they don't have to have anything. Sentences, you have to have all 3, right? Phrases, you don't need anything. Just, no subject, no verb, no complete thought. Just 2 or 3 words, that's a phrase. Simple as that. Okay? All right. So that's the phrase. Let's move on. Let's move on to clauses. Okay? This is a little bit more difficult. Clauses. Clauses. Okay? What are clauses? What are clauses? Okay? This is clauses, okay? This is not Santa Claus, okay? Santa Claus, it's not spelled that way, okay? Right? Anyway, this is not Santa Claus. This is English grammar clause, okay? How do you know when you see a clause? Okay? All right, let me write a sentence. All right, remember the sentence we used for a complete sentence? Let me write it a little bit differently. If I said, I am happy when I eat. Okay? I am happy when I eat. Okay? I am happy when I eat. Okay? I'm happy when I eat. How many sentences is that? Okay, I'm asking sentence, not clause, okay? How many sentences is this right here? I am happy when I eat. How many sentences? Is it 1, 2, 3? Okay. Okay. This is just one sentence. One sentence. It's a complex sentence, but it's still only one. Okay? Only one sentence. Okay? One sentence. Now, next question is, it's only one sentence, but how many clauses? How many clauses do you see? How many clauses do we have in this one sentence? How many clauses? 1, 2, 3? Exactly, 2, okay? This is one sentence, but within this one sentence, you have 2 clauses, okay? 2 clauses. I am happy is one clause, and when I eat is the other clause. We have 2 clauses. So this sentence is really, this complex sentence is made up of 2 clauses. Okay? So let's analyze these 2 clauses. Let's talk about these 2 clauses a little bit more specifically. Okay? So these are 2 clauses. You have one clause, I am happy, and you have the second clause, which is when I eat. Okay, I am happy, one clause. When I eat, another clause. Okay, so we have two clauses. Are they same type of clause or different types of clauses? Are they same or different? Same or different? I mean, there are different words and different meanings, obviously, but are they same kind or type or category of clause or different? Yes? No? I don't know? I don't care? Okay, please care. All right, these are different. They're different types of clauses, okay? What's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference? Okay? What's the difference? Well, I am happy when I eat. Okay? To simply put, I am happy is the main clause. Okay? And this one is called a subordinate clause. Okay? This is the main clause, and this is called a subordinate clause. Okay? Another terminology would be, this is the independent clause. The same thing. Main clause, independent clause, or subordinate clause, or we'll call this dependent clause. Okay. So these, the same meaning. Main clause, independent. Okay. Now, why is I am happy the main clause? Why is that independent? And then when I eat is subordinate. Subordinate means it goes, it's less. It's inferior. Okay. It's not as good as the other one. Okay. This one is under the other one. Okay. Subordinate. Or why is that one dependent? Okay. All right. Let me explain. When I cover up this second clause, this dependent clause, I'm left with I am happy. I am happy. Can I am happy be by itself and be a sentence? Yes or no? Yes. I am happy is a perfectly good sentence. It's got a subject, verb, and then I am happy. I am happy. That's a complete thought. So this is totally independent. That clause does not need this clause. Does not need it. If you cover that up and got rid of it, I am happy. Independent. It's the main clause. Doesn't need it. Okay? It can be a sentence. Okay, we call it a clause only because it's within a complex sentence. But if you got rid of this part, if you just took that away and put a period right there, I am happy is perfectly good as a sentence. So that's why this is the main, or call it the independent clause. On the other hand, if I cover up this part, okay? If I cover up this part, and if I just say, when I eat, okay? When I eat. Remember we talked about that in the complete sentence? When I eat, it has a subject and a verb. Okay, this clause has subject and a verb, but if it doesn't have this part, if it just has when I eat, that does not have complete thought. So it cannot be by itself. It cannot exist by itself. Okay? That's why it's called a subordinate or dependent clause. Because this clause needs this one. Okay? When I eat is dependent. Okay? So as you can tell, this sentence has two clauses with two subjects and two verbs. The difference, this one has complete thought, and this one doesn't. Okay? And that's why the one without the complete thought is the dependent clause or the subordinate clause, and this is called the independent clause or the main clause. Okay? So, look at the chart. So, clauses must have a subject, just like a sentence, and it must also have a verb. Okay? However, it does not have to have complete thought. Okay? That's the difference between clauses and sentences. Okay? Clauses needs Clauses need subjects and verbs just like sentences, but it does not have to have a complete thought like a sentence, like a complete sentence. Okay, that's the difference. All right. Let me write one more sentence. Let's see. I stay healthy if I exercise. Okay? Again, how many sentences is this? How many sentences? One or two? One again, right? It's one sentence. Okay? Another complex sentence. And how many clauses? How many clauses do you see? Two. Just like the first one, okay? What's the first clause? I stay healthy. And the second clause, if I exercise. Okay? All right. Now, which one is the main clause or the independent clause? Which one? Exactly. I stay healthy. Why? Because even if I cover that up, I stay healthy. That's a good sentence. Subject, verb, and a complete thought. So that's the main clause. That's the independent clause. But what if I cover up this? Okay? If I exercise. What is that one? That's the dependent clause, right? That's the dependent clause or the subordinate clause. Okay? Because if I exercise has subject and verb, but it does not have complete thought. Okay? It is not a complete thought. If I exercise, period. Okay? If I try to say that, if I exercise, Stephen, finish your sentence. Complete your thought, right? Okay, that's why that is the dependent clause or the subordinate clause. Okay? So, once again, I stay healthy if I exercise. It's one sentence with two clauses. First clause is the main clause, and the second clause is the dependent clause. Okay? Or we'll call that independent clause, dependent clause, main clause, or subordinate clause. Okay? Easy? Does it make sense? Okay. All right. I know most of you, probably heard this before. I just wanted to remind you. Okay. Now, if you switch the order, when I eat, I am happy, or if I exercise, I stay healthy. The meaning's same, right? The meanings are the same. But what do you have to do when you write? That's right. If you start with when I eat, you got to put a comma. Okay. If you start with if I exercise, you got to put a comma. Okay. So when you start the sentence, when you start the sentence with the main clause or the independent clause, you don't need commas. You don't need commas. But when you start these complex sentences with two clauses, but if you start with dependent clauses, you have to put a comma. Okay. When I eat, comma, I am happy. If I exercise, comma, I stay healthy. Okay? All right. All right. And one last thing I want to talk about really quick is that, we have different types of clauses, as you know. Okay? And these are two different kinds. Okay? When I eat, when you use when, that's called a time clause, right? Because it tells you when. Okay? Or you can say before, after. Those are, after I eat, before I eat, those are time clauses. And then when you use if, what kind of clause is that? That's called a conditional clause. Okay? So, we'll talk about that hopefully if we, run into them in the books. But for today, this should be enough. Okay? So, a little review. Phrases, no subject, no verb, no complete thought. Clauses, subject and verb, but no complete thought. And as you know, sentences, when I say sentence, I'm assuming that you know that it is complete sentence, not an incomplete one. Sentences, subject, verb, and complete thought. Okay? That's the lesson for today. All right? If you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, please let me know. Again, that's Choi413 at gmail.com. Okay? I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week and have a great weekend. And I hope to see you next Monday. Okay? Bye bye.